Hello, I'm Christina Jans, and this is another Peace World Radio podcast. In this podcast, I'd like to share some thoughts with you about attachment, and specifically the stickiness of attachment. One day, I think it was early summer, I was sitting outside out back, and I noticed that the vine I had growing over the pergola was sending out lots of young branches. And when I got up to look at them closely, I noticed that these young branches had a very sticky quality to them. The sticky quality is there to ensure their survival because as the wind blows these young branches back and forth, they inevitably bump into another branch or the post of the pergola. And as soon as they do, their sticky nature ensures that they will attach to the stronger, more stable surface. From there, the young branch winds its way around the stronger one for security, and it flourishes. This got me thinking about humans. When we're born, we too have attachment instincts that ensure our survival. The infant's ability to attach, for instance, to the breast or bottle ensures its physical survival. And as well, the baby's instinct to attach emotionally allows it to feel safe and loved and emotionally tethered. However, if the child does not have a strong, stable source of love and security to which it can attach, both at the early stage of life and while growing up, what happens is that the physical self, the body, matures into adulthood, but inside there is the emotional child still looking for and craving a connection that will allow it to feel safe, loved, good enough, and wanted. And because this comes from a part of ourself that has to do with survival, the force to attach to something is very, very powerful. We feel like our survival depends on it. When looking outside of yourself for something to attach to, more than likely you'll attach to something material or human. If material, the object may one day break down, lose its value, or you may become disinterested in it. Or if human, it will probably at some point disappoint because we're human beings, not perfect beings. And with that, some of those fears of security may be triggered once more, leading you on a hunt for the next thing or person that will make you feel safe, loved, and good enough. And once again, if you're looking outside of yourself for this, you'll attach to something material or human, and so that cycle continues. And this is a long road of frustration, disappointment, despair, certain kinds of anxiety and depression, and even addictions. But there is a way off this merry-go-round. That's the good news. And that is that instead of looking outwards for connection, you need to turn your emotional eyes inwards and attach to something within you that is infinitely powerful and loving. In a sense, by the emotional aspect of yourself attaching to a part of you that is eternal, loving, and part of a greater whole, the emotional safety and security you've been looking for is self-generated. No longer are you like a little cork on the ocean waiting for the next big wave to come up and hit you and throw you into a state of chaos. You will have returned to a place of power and strength and peace that can never be taken from you. How is this done? Well, it's a journey and an extraordinary one to be sure, and I'll be going into a lot of detail about this in an upcoming podcast. But what I can tell you now is that while each person will have a slightly different road, it always seems to begin with quietening the noise of the mind, acknowledging the fears, sitting in the stillness, even though the ego, the fear-based self, will say it's crazy and a waste of time. Just staying there in that stillness in order to access the greater wisdom and strength within you. And that's just the beginning. For some, it will be a spiritual connection. For others, it may not be overtly spiritual, but a deep and powerful connection with nature, for instance, where they become realigned with their truth. It's different for different people, and that's the wonder and beauty of it all. There's another layer to this as well. Because we're both individuals and part of a collective called humanity, what we do at the individual level of our reality affects the whole. So as you move to reclaiming your power and living from a place of peace within yourself, you'll be using your life to create more peace in the collective consciousness of humanity. And I believe that's where our future lies. Thanks for listening to this Peace World Radio podcast. I hope you'll have a chance to listen to some of the other ones I'll be posting in the near future on the website, on the Peace World Radio website. I'm Christina Jans. Bye for now.